message is entitled How I Built My Business with Body Balance Challenges. And similar to Paul, we run an 8-week, kind of a Biggest Loser type program. And who in here has done a body balance challenge, the one that NP actually rolled out? Okay, so mine's more of a hybrid model. I did it similar to what Paul's done, where we added the nutrition component, or it wasn't just nutrition like NP's was originally rolled out. We added the workout component in with it and some one-on-one consultations and just some different things that way. And just a little bit of background on me. Hearts to Hearts Boot Camp is my business. I do one-on-one training, semi-private boot camps. The Tryon Gym is actually a good friend of mine that owns the gyms, and that's where I operate underneath that umbrella. In South Dakota, it gets a little bit chilly in the wintertime, so we can't be outside. So we use those facilities, and I pay him an 8% commission to basically, I take care of his customers. I guess that's the best way to say it. So he brings the gym members in, and then I service those with my business and pay him 8% of the gross, kind of like what some of these other guys have done as well. So the original goal of Body Balance Challenge for us was, back in September, I was pretty much a one-man band. You know, I had some trainers working with me to help out with the boot camps, but you know, Camellia could come up and do a 15-minute presentation on how I was a control freak and not willing to really give up my responsibilities and roles to other trainers. And so that was the thing. I wanted to duplicate what I did into some other trainers and create really a buzz in the community, kind of like what Paul's done with his program, and just really own this part of the market and get some momentum going. And once that momentum is going, just a lot of things happen, and people start coming to you rather than you having to go out and create all the feelers with it. We use this also as a feeder program. It's basically a longer version. Instead of like a 21-day rapid fat loss program, you know, we do it for 8 weeks, but it gets people in the habit of coming. We build a strong relationship with them along the way, and the majority of them stay. And then just to get some real good testimonials on the end as well, you know, so we could develop more social proof. I'm a numbers guy, so I've got a lot of my numbers up here. This is where I was at in September, right before mega training, and you can see the different deals. The group training that I was doing was at $5,200 a month, and that's tripled. The second numbers are in April, which was about a month ago, so that's an 8-month time frame. And you know, these body balance challenges have funneled a lot of this business to me. The one-on-one PT has went up dramatically. The reason that group training hasn't grown as much is just space capacity, you know, because in the wintertime, now that we're moving outside for the summer, we'll be able to grow that. The Advocare, the nutritional supplements, we tie that in as well, and that's more than doubled. And the neat thing about this is that $7,500, about $5,500 of it is net profit that we put into our pockets. So that's a real big deal. So you can see the gross went from 12.5 up to almost 40 grand in that time period, and I was making about $5,300 net in September, but I was still working about 25 hours a week. I mean, training in the business, and now I don't do any training at all, and that's tripled in the month of April. So you can see in a short period of time what's possible if you're willing to invest in your trainers and empower them to do what they can do. I'm going to use this sheet to basically explain how we fulfill the packages. BBC 1, BBC 2, and BBC 3. Name them, come up with some kind of a name, which, you know, the middle one we talked about, lose 10 pounds during the holidays rather than gain 10 pounds. The third one was get ready for swimsuit season, so you want to create a name for them. The first and third ones were 8 weeks long, the middle one was 7 weeks. And we did the first and second ones back to back, and I do not recommend doing that because you lose momentum. You need a little bit of a space in between there to kind of gather what you've created with the first one and then to get ready for the next one. And you know, it's just to keep that excitement and that enthusiasm high with that. Payroll, I put in, we do 24 group training workouts, so they just fall into the boot camps that we've got. And I did put on there what we pay per session for a trainer. We had 2 groups going on that first one, so it was $1,440. We do 3 nutrition consultations along the way, which has greatly improved our results. And that also allows us to package those nutritional supplements in along with it. And the way we're tiered is, as a trainer, those trainers are able to earn income from selling those supplements, so we're able to attract a higher quality trainer keep them around because they're making anywhere from $500 to $1,000. I've got one that makes over $2,000 a month just on the nutrition end as well, and we recoup on the back end from that also. Everybody gets a journal, to log their nutrition along the way. The percentage that I pay the gym is that 8%, and we do a final party, and that's a huge deal, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment as well. We do a grocery store tour along the way where we take them into the grocery store, and they basically do all of this for us. They've got a nutritionist that walks them around, and we go along with them, but we go ahead and let them be the expert, and then what we've done is we've flipped that back around. And at that point, now we can go in and talk to their groups about exercise and so forth. So we've built that partnership in there as well. Giveaway prizes. This last one we did, $1,800 Cancun trip. I thought that would get a few more people involved. It didn't do as much as I thought it was going to do. I think anywhere from $700 to $1,000 is going to be our price point. And now that we've got a real good list built, that will be the catalyst and be just a good price point to be able to create the best net profit with that. We do seminars along the way. We do a health and wealth seminar. We did a private shopping deal at a jeans store where we brought all the ladies in, and they basically closed the place down, and we had 30 gals in there that were shopping for jeans, and they got discounted rate. And it's just all these things to build the relationship along the way. And then these strategic alliance donations, you can see all the different things that we do. Do a lot with the nutritional supplements along the way to try and enter that into them as well. And you can see on the bottom what our gross and the expenses and what we netted from the 3 Body Balance challenges. So first one netted us $4,100 at 48%, and then $4,800, and then $4,453 at 40%. Like I said, if we're going to change the prize, so it's going to change that net a little bit for the last one. The renewal rate, I just looked at this last one. We actually just finished up a week ago Thursday. So far, 18 of the 28 individuals that did the original program at $399 have recommitted to 3, 6, or 12 months of group training. And that's brought in so far 14,700. And that continues to grow. And the final party, we invite the spouses to that final party so that a lot of those will commit and do group training or one-on-one training with us as well. And I didn't do that on the first 2, and I missed the boat on that. So that's a tip. Make that final party something where the whole family and even some good friends can come, and then you have an opportunity to market to them. It makes the contestants feel special because we recognize everybody that was in the contest with something. It might be most improved push-ups, or it can be something cheesy, the princess of the competition, somebody that had their nails done the whole time. And then obviously we're recognizing the ones that have had the biggest weight loss as well. But we make everybody in it feel special, and that just creates that buzz where on Monday they go back to work and they say, guess what I did this weekend, and just take really good care of them. The nutritional supplement sales, that just continues to generate. So even if they fall off and don't continue with the group training or the one-on-one training with us, they typically will stay on supplements because 80% of America has already taken them, and we just feel like they might as well be buying them from us. I look at the program as it is a 3 steps forward, 2 steps back type of thing. So, we do feel like we launch forward and, clean up kind of what we created and take a couple steps back, but we just have linearly improved over the last 8 months with doing the 3 Body Balance challenges. This was the winner of the first one. She lost 22 pounds in 18 inches in 8 weeks. And what I did is I went to the media. I've got a connection at our local news station, and I just told her story to them, and they came out halfway through, and they did an interview with her, and they talked about the Body Balance Challenge and what it meant to her and what her story was. And then thankfully she happened to win the thing. So they came out and they did a follow-up story on her, and we've just leveraged the heck out of this and kept that rolling. And then I was able to get the anchor lady that came out to actually do the story. I actually got her into the next Body Balance Challenge. So you can imagine when she's on the 6 a.m. news, and she's getting thinner along the way, and they did a story on her throughout. So that was just a little something you can do. What female wouldn't want to join something like this? So if you can find an anchor person or somebody that's in the media to do this, I mean, it's just icing on the cake. And and we continue to leverage that. So on this last one we did, the winner lost 36 pounds during the 8 weeks. So we get people dramatic results. We've had, 57-year-old gal had major arthritis, and now she said she can sleep at night. So it's just, leveraging these stories, and, I haven't even had a chance to get all the photos and everything together for that at this point. Some marketing ideas to get people into the challenge. Basically I just used what NPE had from their Body Balance Challenge. The whole goal is to get them to that landing page, because Eric's done a great job of basically when they come to us, when they register and we get their name and email address and their phone number, when we call them, we're on such a different path. We're not trying to sell them into the program at that point. We're basically saying, Mary, why should we allow you into the program? And they're selling themselves into it. They'll be on Facebook and they'll say, man, I hope I'm going to be allowed into the program. And it's just such a different mentality from the normal things that we run, where you feel like you're trying to get people in the door, and people that sign up actually want to do this thing. So it just the way that they've created it works well. The first one, there's just such a need for something like this, as Paul obviously demonstrated. I was going to run one group at one location just to see how this was going to work with one trainer, and the first afternoon we launched it in the morning, and by that evening we already had 7 people sign up just off of Facebook. And we do a lot of marketing on Facebook, a lot of just building relationships and rapport and so forth, and I really empowered the trainers to get out and look at their sphere of influence and try and get people as well to that landing page, and just empowering them to basically go to work for you and do what's need to be done. We use NP's flyers in-house, and we gave them to our strategic alliance partners. Now we've got flyers created with before and after pictures that have the prize on there, and it's just a talking point that we use when people come into the locations and so forth. Like I said, the media absolutely loves these type of programs. They love personal interest stories, so it's not just going to them and saying, hey, I want you to market my program. It's saying, you've got to come up with the story of saying, I've got this gal, Stephanie, and here's where she was at. Man, she was taking all these different pills and powders, and she was kind of a recluse. She, financially they were doing great, but she didn't want to leave the house because she had broke out in hives, and she just, was feeling so badly about how she looked. She just, like I said, became kind of a recluse, and this program has been life-changing for her. And they pick up on those stories, and they'll come out and do that. I did a trade with a gentleman that came in. He tried to sell us some television spots, just kind of a random guy that owns a local cable company. And this auto closer, I can't say enough good about it. I mean, that is how you build relationships with people. So instead of him selling me, the conversation flipped, and I started digging into his life and communicating with him and finding out about him. Well, come to find out, he had a daughter that was going to do one of these pageants, and what dad doesn't want his daughter to look great for the pageant? So we gave them a training program from the time that we spoke up until this pageant came up, which our investment in that was about $600 to pay the trainer, and in return we got $5,000 worth of television commercials. They come out and did the commercials. We ran half the spots for the last Body Balance Challenge that we did, and that was a great investment. So it was $300 for a return of, gross 12 grand and netted about just under $5,000. Some other tips. Obviously use all of NP's tools that they've got. The grand prize from this point forward is going to be about $1,000 cash. Over-deliver to these people. Give them weekly prizes. I mean, even if it's something small, recognize everybody all the time. And you should be doing that anyways, but this is a great opportunity to do this. And as a group, you take somebody like a Brad Lindner that they've got different class times. If you guys implement this, make sure that this group meets once a week together so that you can talk about nutrition and then further the supplements along in with that from an educational standpoint. And in the handouts that I've got that you can download, I talk about how we communicate that to our clients and so forth. I found that it was better to build the first half of it day one. They're ready to roll. So we build the first half right when they start, and then the second half 4 weeks into it.